We do so much for our dogs, right? We give them the best toys, the coziest beds, and of course, endless belly rubs. But what about their food? It's one of the most crucial parts of their well-being, and let's be honest, it's not always easy to know if we're getting it right. So, let's dive in and figure out how to tell if your dog's diet is really working for them. That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Our dogs can't just come up and tell us, hey, this kibble is giving me a stomachache, but they are communicating all the time. Our job, as their best friend, is to become a bit of a detective, to learn how to spot the clues they're sending. And that's exactly what we're going to do right now. All right, let's kick off this investigation with clue number 1. This one is often the loudest and clearest signal that something is off. That's right, tummy troubles. A dog's digestive system is like this super direct feedback loop. If something isn't agreeing with them, the signs are usually pretty hard to miss, if you know what you're looking for. And look, the key here isn't just a one-off bad day. We're talking about patterns. Is your dog suddenly way gassier than usual? Is their stool consistently loose? What about vomiting, especially right after a meal? Or maybe they're suddenly turning their nose up at a food they used to devour. These are all potential red flags coming straight from their gut. Okay, let's move on to clue number 2. For this one, we're going to look at how what's happening on the inside can actually show up on the outside. Think of your dog's skin and coat as, well, a fantastic barometer for their internal health. When they're getting the right nutrition, it gives them that beautiful, healthy shine. But when their diet is lacking, boy, does it show. And yeah, this slide just lays it all out, doesn't it? On the left, that's the goal, a gorgeous, shiny coat and healthy skin. But if you're seeing the stuff on the right, dull, dry fur, maybe some flaky skin, or constant scratching, that could be a huge sign that their food is missing key nutrients or maybe even causing an allergic reaction. All right, on to our third clue. Now, this one's a little more subtle. It's less about what you can see and more about how your dog is acting. Think about it for yourself, right? Food is literally fuel. If you eat a bunch of junk, you feel sluggish and kind of blah. It's the exact same for our dogs. The wrong food can have a massive impact on their energy levels and even their mood. So the real key here is noticing a change from their normal everyday self. Is your usually playful pup suddenly sleeping all day long? Or on the flip side, are they suddenly hyper, maybe from too many simple carbs? Even new grumpiness or anxiety could be tied to discomfort from their diet. If your dog's whole personality seems to have shifted, it might be time to check that food bowl. Okay, stay with me, detective. We've got 2 clues left, and these are the ones people often miss, but they're so important. So let's talk about clue number 4. This is something you can actually measure pretty easily. Okay, so if you haven't changed up their exercise routine and you're feeding them the same amount, but their weight is changing, well, the food is the number 1 suspect. It might be packed with filler calories, causing them to gain weight, or maybe it just doesn't have enough nutrients they can actually use, causing them to lose weight. Either way, the scale doesn't lie. And that brings us to our 5th and final clue. And, okay, I'll admit, this isn't the most glamorous part of being a dog owner, but it's one of the most informative, for sure. Yup, we're talking about poop. A healthy dog should have consistently firm, well-formed stools. If what you're picking up on your walks is often, well, large, soft, or it changes a lot, that's a really clear sign their digestive system just isn't processing their food efficiently. It's basically a daily health report, right there on your lawn. Okay, so you've been playing detective. You've gathered the clues. Maybe you've noticed some tummy troubles, or their coat's not looking great, or their energy's just off. You've got your evidence. Now what? What's the next step? And honestly, this is the most important part of the whole thing. Your role shifts from detective to advocate for your dog. The goal isn't to diagnose the problem all by yourself, but to gather clear, solid information for a professional. So here's your game plan. It's super simple. First, observe. Start keeping a little log of the signs you're seeing. Second, document the details. When does it happen? How often? Is it worse after they eat? And third, consult your vet. I promise you, going to them with specific observations helps them crack the case so much faster than if you just say, I think something's wrong. Seriously, never forget this. Nobody knows your dog's daily quirks and habits better than you do. You are their voice, and your observations are absolutely invaluable. So the big question is, are you really listening to what your dog is trying to tell you? They're always communicating, just not with words. And by paying attention to these clues, you can make sure they're living their absolute happiest, healthiest life. Now you have the tools to listen.